Hey YouTube, it's Katrina. Welcome to day 182 of the orbit. I realized that at no point during my orbit did I ever mention that I'm a Harry Potter fan. Yeah, I'm a Harry Potter fan, and my house is Ravenclaw, of course. Originally, I was going to do a week of Harry Potter where I was going to review each book. There's 7 books, 7 days in a week, so it would work out perfectly. I was going to do it either leading up to Halloween or leading up to the premiere of the latest movie. But I was smart and forgot all the books at my parents' house. So fail on that. What I can do instead is to tell you my experience with Harry Potter. The first time I saw a Harry Potter book, it was at a Scholastic Book Fair. And if you've never heard of Scholastic Books, well, they used to have a magazine, like a little kind of catalog, really a few pages long, and it was just books or things related to books, and you could order them. And my school used to have Scholastic Books, my elementary school / middle school. So you'd order your books through your teacher, and then, a couple weeks later, all the books would come in, and it was so exciting, and the teacher would sort through all the books, who gets what books, and then when they're all sorted into their piles, people get called up and you get your new stack of books, which is, of course, really exciting for me. So there used to also be Scholastic Book Fairs, which was once a year. They would, these people would come in and set up these stands in our school library, and you could pick out what books you wanted and buy them. So it was kind of like going to a bookstore in your school library. Kind of strange, but awesome. There was a girl who I used to be very, very close with. She used to be my best friend when I was younger, and her name was Alexis. And she pointed at book 3, I remember. She's like, "Oh, it's the new Harry Potter book." Because apparently the 2 other books had already come out. I hadn't heard of them yet. She pointed at The Prisoner of Azkaban, and I was like, "What is that?" And she's like, "Oh, they're so awesome. Have you ever read them? Have you ever heard of it?" And I was like, "No, I've never even... that book looks stupid." And she's like, "Oh, I can't wait to read this book." And she got it, and she was going to read it. And she was like, you should read it." I was like, "Okay." So, I ended up getting the first Harry Potter book. And I remember I was like, "Oh, okay, I'll read it because my best friend says it's good," kind of thing. And I think I was in 5th grade. I had to have been in 5th grade where I picked up Harry Potter book, and I started reading it, and I remember I read the first chapter and I was like, "Wow, this book is awesome." But by the time I had read that chapter, it was really late and I had to go to sleep. So I wanted to stay up later, and I remember I read the next chapter, and I read up until Hagrid storms into the house where the Dudleys and Harry are staying, and it's like a storm, and I was like, "This book is awesome." By that time I was totally hooked. I would read the books as soon as they came out. I got caught up very quickly. I was so anxious for the next book to come out, and whenever it did come out, I would get it the next day, because I always knew, okay, the first day for a Harry Potter book would be crazy. So I would order my book ahead of time, and then I'd go into the bookstore that lives in my town, buy the book, and read it in a day. I would read all of the books in a day, and I think the only one that I took time and, I literally split it in half. I put a bookmark in the middle of the book as soon as I got it, and read, half of the book one day, and the other half the next day. And that was the very last book. All the other books I finished in a day. Yes, book 4 I finished in a day. I could not stop reading it. It was like a marathon of reading. I read very fast, but I have increased in my reading speed. So I would spend hours. I would get all this food, bring it into my bedroom. I would only take breaks to go to the bathroom, and I just stuff my brain with a new Harry Potter story, and then by the end of it, I'd be exhausted, but very happy, and then very anxious for the next book to come out. Why did I do that to myself? So are any of you guys Harry Potter fans? Or if you're not a Harry Potter fan, why? Because I know a lot of people who are not Harry Potter fans. They're like, no, I refuse to read the book, or I tried to read the book and I couldn't stand it. Which, okay, to each his own. So, leave your comments below. Pretty much it for today, guys. So I will see you tomorrow on day 183, and I hope that you have a great night. Bye.